Making my way through the darkness, a million eyes on me. I don't care, I don't care. Making my way through the spewing, sticking it out just to see. I don't care, I don't care. The moment's come now, so take it. To fight for what I believe, 'cause I can, yeah I can.
Last time on Road to Arlathan, the party continued moving their way through the ancient Elven temple, discovering more of the magical secrets hidden within. Led by Aeolus and Alara, the long-forgotten children of Elgar'nan, they found themselves in the chamber of a young red dragon. While some fled to safety, others stayed back to fight and later kill the dragon and ensure their escape. Reaching the next level of the temple, Aeolus and Alara left the group to return to their slumber. However, without their guidance, the party faced their greatest challenge yet, a single flight of stairs. Slick with condensation, even the agile rogues of the party struggled to reach the top, where Asira was the only one standing. Finally conquering the staircase, they found themselves in yet another large chamber. Inside was a diorama depicting the many different areas of the Fade, including a small figure of Falandine driving on human figures as they struggled to roll a boulder to the top of a great hill. While most of the party was entranced by the diorama, Nick, Asira, Ashara, and Delia, if I'm missing anyone, I'm sorry, fought off a monstrous creature with too many mouths and even more eyes in a room branching off from the chamber. Ashara also discovered the way to the next level by climbing up through a duct in the ceiling. Following her lead, the rest of the party found themselves in yet another decrepit room with a single set of large bronze doors. Passing through, they entered another chamber. So, the walls of this chamber are covered with brightly colored tiles, forming several different mosaic images. They circle their way around the room from left to right. On the wall behind you, to the left of the door you entered through, is an image that is familiar to most of you. It depicts Mathal, some of her features more dragon-like in nature, her wings sprouting from her back, sharp claws at her fingertips, and horns protruding from her head. A single blue-green tile floats above her body. Her eyes are open but unseeing as her lifeless body is held in the arm of Fen'Harel, who wears a wolfskin draped over his back, the head of the wolf obscuring his face. Even then, you do get a sense of grief from him. While he cradles Mathal's body in one arm, the other is outstretched behind him, palm open as if to cast a spell. Behind them are the rest of the Evenuris, seeming to charge forward at the two. The first is Elgar'nan, filled with rage and fire erupting from his hands. Next, Falandine holds his staff raised up above his head. Behind him, Dirthaman has one hand placed on his brother's shoulder in front of him, and the other covering his own mouth. Andril stands behind him, her bow raised and pointed ahead at Fen'Harel. The next is Siles, preparing a fireball in her hands. June stands behind her with his hand on her shoulder, his other hand raising a warhammer over his head. Finally, Gillinan follows, Hala antlers protruding from her head as she glances back over her shoulder. The second wall to the south bears a new image. Fen'Harel stands atop the highest tower of a great fortress, tucked away deep into the mountains. A burst of green magic emanates from him and rises into the sky, holding back a great darkness. Below the mountain scene are 7 separate images, Elgar'nan chained and imprisoned deep within Mathal's labyrinth, Dirthaman turning to stone within his own temple, Andril reaching out with a look of anguish as she is being absorbed into the trunk of a great oak tree, Gillinan entombed in the depths of the deep roads, June trapped within the walls of his ancient forge, Siles holding her son close as fire blazes around them, and finally Falandine falling from the sickening green sky of the Fade. The western wall depicts Gillinan breaking free of her earthen prison with a burst of red magic. Red tendrils circle around her, snaking their way towards images of Dirthaman, Andril, June, Siles, and Falandine, shattering the magic that contains them as well. The images in the mosaic of the northern wall are vastly different from the rest of the chamber. 8 people are depicted across the expanse of this wall, each seeming to radiate with magic. The first is an elven woman with a bow and quiver slung over her back and golden markings of Andril adorning her face. In her outstretched hands, she holds a glimmering silver hair. Second is a human woman in a long coat, her dark blonde hair pulled back from her face and a glowing violet raven resting in her hands. Third is a dwarven woman with a mass of red curls in Grey Warden armor. She holds a luminous blue owl. Fourth stands a human warrior, a golden braid hanging down over her shoulder as she holds a radiant copper ram. Fifth is a human man with bright flaxen curls and a golden fox glimmering in his hands. Sixth, a Qunari woman towers above the rest with a shock of white hair and curling horns. In her outstretched hands lies a glowing ivory hala. Seventh is another human woman. 2 white braids hang at her temples in contrast to her dark curls as a radiant pink snake winds its way up her wrist. Finally, there is depicted another elven woman with dark braids hanging down her back and the faintest silvery lines of what was once Valisline across her face. In her outstretched hands is a shining green wolf. The final mosaic rests to the right of the door from which you entered. The group of 8 stands in front of a great magical barrier, each holding a radiant orb in their hands of the corresponding color from the previous image. The land around them is scorched, the trees on fire, and burned corpses littering the earth. Below them, each of the Evanuris seems to be screaming in agony as blood drips down their faces from the Valisline that had been carved into their flesh. What y'all thinking?
It's still just the most fucking badass thing in the entire world.
Hey, that kind of looks like us. Do you see? I think that one even has braids of white, like me.
Nick, that is us.
Was it done recently? Because it even has my chopped hair.
How recent does the paint look? Does it look?
It looks fairly ancient, just about as old as everything else in this place.
I go up and I touch it to see like if it crumbles off or anything.
Okay.
It does not.
Are you using your rock magic? Are you talking to the rocks?
What the fuck is this?
It's a painting.
I like look over at Diani, just like for any like hope that you know anything.
She is just as clueless and just as startled.
Was the orb that I got that was the orb of sleep? Did that have a color to it at all?
It's just kind of like a shimmering gray.
Okay. Because
Does the painting seem magical at all, or is it just kind of like a mural?
Would you like to find out?
Yeah.
Would you like to roll Arcana? Or Perception?
Yeah, because I'm doing not great at spells. Can I do perception?
Yeah. And I'll let you have advantage because you are a mage.
26.
Okay. So looking over the wall with all of you depicted, you get a closer look at the orbs that each of you is holding. And you notice that the one tile in the center of the orbs seems to be glowing for each single one. It's very faint, but you do get a sense of magic coming from them as well.
Sorry, my new ID just got here. She will point it out to. I mean, she'll point it out to everyone, but particularly as Sarah, as the other mage. She will kind of call her over.
Abby, we're just exclaiming about the murals we found at the end of last session.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Diani was able to figure out that there's a tile in the center of the orbs that each of you are holding in the mosaic. The center tile is radiating with light and magic. So that's what you missed.
Katie won't be able to make it,
Okay.
at least to the beginning of session. She said that she's like an hour away from home, and she just mixed up which week it was. But she might. I'm asking her if she can make it to the rest of session later, but I don't know if she will be able to.
Okay.
So Asira is gonna come over to Diani then, and just look at the mural with her.
Quick clarification.
Mm-hmm.
We are holding orbs physically or in the mural? Like
In
we
the
are in the
mural.
mural and holding orbs?
In the mural.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Is there like, do I sense like Illyrium, or does like a physical magic, or is it more of an actual like arcana magic?
What do you mean?
Like as a dwarf, I can sense if there's like a source of lyrium nearby.
Mm-hmm. It's not lyrium.
Okay, that was my question.
Okay.
Does this look like a relatively safe place?
You want to roll perception?
Sure. Nick's a little hurt. Natural 20.
Hell yeah. As far as you can tell, the room is fairly stable. There's really nowhere for anything to come from that you can see. Let's see. Yeah.
Why is it? Oh, okay, I was gonna say, why did you say let's see?
I was just looking over my notes quick
Okay.
to make
Should
sure I
we-
didn't miss anything.
Do any of us need to take a short rest, a long rest, a rest of a kind while we're here so it's kind of safe?
This is Lee's way of saying, hey, I
I'm
have
hurt.
used hit points out of everyone.
I thought we took it I think we had taken a short rest.
Yeah, we took a
last
short
time.
rest at the end.
Oh,
So if
then
we
I-
need to, then
I
yeah.
didn't do it then.
I was gonna say I just looked at my character sheet and I definitely healed after the last fight.
Okay.
This is
I
a
just-
relatively safe place for a short rest. So
All right. So what's up with the magic wall?
Did anyone poke it while I was gone?
Should we
No.
poke it?
I was tempted, but I'm waiting to see what Asira does.
Oh, that is true.
I don't like this. I would like to leave. This is bad juju. This is bad vibes.
I go ahead and poke at one of the tiles.
Yeah, I think Tiani's gonna also reach out and touch the orb that she's holding.
Do we all need
Are
to
you-
poke it?
are you going for the one that's glowing with the magic, that
Yeah.
specific tile? Okay, so both of you reach out and you realize that that tile is loose. And it's not quite a tile. It's something that's been inserted into the wall.
Oh, I don't like that.
And one of the roads check your traps first.
I would like to check for traps.
Roll.
Roll. What is check for traps?
Investigation?
19.
There's no traps.
I'm
I'm taking it.
also taking it.
You pull out of the wall a glowing, like a tower point crystal of the color of the orb that was in the wall.
I want to take. Is it all of them are glowing, or was it just a specific one?
There is one tile at the center of each orb on the wall.
Okay.
So each of you would have an orb with a tile.
I want to take a tile. Everybody
Yes.
else is doing it.
Seeing Diani pull that out, I'm going to go with Nick and try it.
I think I'm gonna pull my tile out.
Do we need a roll for strength?
It just comes right out, and it's just like about this tall, a little crystal point.
I go get my tile.
There were
It's-
other orbs in the temple that we passed.
I love how
I'd like-
fixated on orbs y'all are.
We love orbs.
We're holding orbs.
Does the crystal?
The last like
they're
3 sessions have been
pretty.
about orbs.
I have a bunch of the ones that we stole from like various things in my backpack.
I also like to.
Like, does the crystal like feel warm, or like is there anything
It's actually kind of
odd
cold.
about it?
It's kind of cold to the touch. And you can kind of feel this very, very slight vibration coming from it, like the thrum of magic.
Sorry, my computer wants to update.
If I cast detect magic on it, will I get information on what it's about?
You could try.
I will use my last first level spell slot for detect magic.
So, casting detect magic, these crystals all glow. You can see them glowing from everyone's hands as they hold them. You do get a sense that there is very powerful, very ancient magic imbued in these crystals, but because of how old they are, you cannot discern exactly what the purpose is.
They can be like a friendship necklace, everyone. We can all have matching ones. Does anybody have any thread? We can make necklaces.
I have rope, and I start pulling like the edges of the rope,
Yes, friendship.
like
Friendship.
embroidery floss, just like
Yes.
split it into pieces.
Just
Did anything happen when we pulled all of the crystals out?
nope.
Okay.
Is there anything else in the room other than these muraled walls?
Nope.
Is there an
Unless you'd like
exit?
to roll a perception or investigation check.
I will do that.
Ayo.
Okay.
$23.
So, kind of looking around the room, you turn towards the western wall, which is the mosaic with Gillinan freeing all the other Avenurics. And you notice that there's something off about the wall itself. And as you get closer, you realize that the wall is actually set back from the rest of the room, creating a narrow hallway that kind of snakes behind it.
So while everyone else is fascinating over their little orbs, I'm just gonna go poke my head around in there. I'm not touching my orb. That's suspicious.
If Bronwyn's not going to take hers, can I take Bronwyn's
Yes, you can.
too?
So looking around the kind of bend in that hallway, you just see that it goes down a longer, dark corridor.
There's a hallway back here. If we want to maybe put those back and leave.
But we're making them friendship necklaces.
I will scout ahead down the tunnel if you want. Ashara makes no move to put her crystal back.
No.
I just think that we have absolutely no idea what those are, and they could end up killing us.
They
Somebody-
could be something we need.
Says somebody who has touched orbs randomly. Lost arms over it.
Do you say that out loud? Is this Jupiter or Clay?
This is Jupiter.
Okay.
I will slip past Bronwyn and just sort of explore down the hallway briefly.
So this hallway is very dark, dry, dusty. It doesn't look like it's been used for a very long time. And near the top, kind of towards the end of the corridor, there is a trap door in the ceiling. And off to the side on the wall, there are metal rungs kind of set into the wall, forming a ladder that leads up the wall and across the ceiling over to the trapdoor.
Looking for traps first.
Roll investigation.
Investigation. 23.
Oh, my notes here. See book. You cannot see any traps. There are no traps.
I'm going to attempt to climb up the rungs and over to the door because I know that these are probably ancient and crumbly, but I'm going to try and get to the door and open it.
Okay. So, climbing up, you realize that some of the rungs are kind of broken and rusted, so you have to like kind of skip spots with your little elf legs. And when you open this trapdoor, it kind of, you turn the latch on it. It's a very rusty, like creaking sound, because it clearly hasn't been used in such a long time. And the moment that you open this door, this enormous gust of wind just enters into the chamber. It blows you off of the ladder and into a wall across the room.
Oh,
And it's just constant wind tunnel with the door wide open. And you guys in the other room can hear as this wind is rushing through, but you don't feel it yourselves right now.
and like it doesn't stop, it's just continuous.
It's just constant. Yep.
That sucks.
Oh, you also take 3 points of damage.
Mhm. Do I, from my position now on the floor, but the door is open, is there light up there? Do I see anything? Trying to squint through.
So you can see what looks like a sort of awning, a stone awning, because it like ends, the stone itself ends like the stone ceiling, and then it's just kind of open sky there.
How strong is the wind?
I mean, it knocked you off a ladder and flew you across the room.
So at least 2.
At least 2.
I was just wondering if it looked like a way out, but if I can't.
And the floor is also sort of, the word the book uses is corrugated. So there are like essentially
Slats in it.
handholds in the
Yeah.
floor.
I'm not very strong, but I'm gonna try and crawl my way back to see if I can't get. No, maybe not. I'm gonna go back to the room.
And you are like crawling on the floor with the handholds to get back into the room.
What you doing on the ground, crawling, Fred?
You see, like her hair's like escaping from her braids and like looking very disheveled, and just be like, "Well, that's not a way out."
All right, your head's a little. You need some help. It's a little like.
It's a little windy in there now.
Oh, okay. It's fucking windy.
Yeah.
Here, let me help you with your hair.
Yeah, pull her hair out of the ties and like
Help
try
braid it.
Yeah. There was a door. I opened a door. It's a fucking wind tunnel now.
So
Is
do we-
there another door out of this room?
Yeah.
Nope.
Or is it just like
Just the one you came through and the one towards the wind tunnel.
Shit.
I saw sky outside of the wind tunnel though.
So it could be the way out.
If you can fucking get out of it. I'm a scrawny little bean. I got my ass kicked by a wind tunnel. Like it threw me into a wall.
Well, maybe could we tie a rope to one another and have the strongest person lead us out? Like, I know Lila has a bunch of armor on, so like that could help get a ground stance and just, you know?
Nick gets a very harsh look from Bronwyn.
What?
Just
Lila?
Isn't Bronwyn like our strongest person though?
But Lila's wearing armor. What? You're wearing armor too. I'm just so used to you seeing that. It's just close to me.
You could have one on each end as anchors.
Yes. So do we want to try this?
I don't really know what's beyond the door because, you know, it sent me flying across the room. So, just
Do you want
saying.
me, do you want me to go check? I'll go. I'm fast. Small but fast. Okay. Nick's is running against the wind.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be bad.
Make a strength save.
Okay. That would be a 18.
Okay. So as you kind of enter this room, you are just immediately wind blasted. Your face kind of burns a little bit from the wind,
Owie.
actually.
Owie.
And the heel of your boot gets caught in the corrugation in the floor. And that's the only reason you're still on your feet.
Ayo. Wow. It is really windy in here. I try to go further.
Where are you going? Just towards the ladder?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. That would not be another strength throw.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That would be not as good, but it would be a 12.
So you are able to get maybe 4 steps forward before it just blasts you back into the wall.
Ow.
And you take 2 points of damage.
All right. Still hurting. It's fine. Wait. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking now.
Mm-hmm.
So the door is a trap door. Is it open up or does it open down?
It opens down.
So, trying to now I'm just thinking, not Nick. Because if we could find some way get it closed, that'd be great. So, how far away is it? Like all up, like how tall is the room for it?
Let's see. It is 15 feet high up.
15 feet. Okay, Nick's gonna come back in. Like, okay, so like, yeah, it is windy. We could try to figure out a way to close it? Like maybe one of the mages or Archer could like shoot something at it to close it, maybe. I don't know how magic works or archery. Or we could just throw Bronwyn. That's also another one.
I'm definitely not going to shoot into the wind unless someone else wants to wear an arrow in their face.
So do we one of the mages? Do you have anything that could be like forceful to close it or something? Oh, like your spiritual little person.
Is the trapdoor the only exit in that hallway? So we don't want to close it because we're going to need to use it.
But it's coming through the wind.
But I can I have bless, which can bless 3 people who aren't super strong. That can add a little bit to their rolls. So I can help with that at least. I don't have any kind of like element manipulation type of spells. So I can't do
And
that.
Charlotte just looks down at Bronwyn and is just
I'll
like, "Do you
try.
give it a
I'll
try?"
Bronwyn, Bronwyn.
What am I rolling? Strength?
Strength
Okay.
save.
Strength save. What? 14. I got a 2.
And that got you to 14?
I have a plus 12.
Yeah. You take one step into the room.
Oh, wait,
Are immediately thrown back. Like you're like plastered against the wall, standing up. Looney Tunes style.
I sigh and then I just kind of shake my head. And when I open my eyes, they're red and I'm raging and I try again.
Okay.
Damn. Okay, a 19.
Okay. So you are able to kind of pry yourself away from the wall, and struggling, you are able to begin stepping forward. What's your speed?
40.
So
I'm a fast little one.
So yeah, that is cut down to 10.
10.
Yeah.
So is there a way to like block off the wind from where I am? Like,
would you like to roll perception or investigation?
I can do that. 23.
So as far as you can tell, there's not much of anything else in this room. However, you do notice that off to, so if you're standing facing the door from, or the trapdoor from the corridor, on the right-hand side, you notice the seams of 2 doors kind of set into the wall.
And this is the only way we've seen that goes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how many more feet do I have to go until I like get out of the tunnel windy area?
You would have to go another 10 feet and then climb the ladder.
Okay. Can I try?
You can try.
Okay. $20.
So that'll get you the 10 feet.
I hold on to the ladder and I'm going to take a rope and tie the rope onto the ladder and let it like fly backwards, the other end fly backwards towards where the rest of the people are.
Okay. How long's your rope? How long's your rope?
My rope is rope. I gotta find it. Hold on. Got a lot of things in here. It's 50 feet.
Okay, you're good.
Hempen. Okay, I don't know what that means, but it says rope, comma, hempen.
Made from hemp.
Oh. Bronwyn is pro elf root, I guess. Okay, and then I will try to climb the ladder after I've kind of sent the. Well, yeah. I guess I can like stay there to make sure it holds on until another person comes too.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna stay there to help. to help someone else.
Okay. The rest of you, what would you like to do?
Well, seeing Bronwyn made it and tied a rope, I'm going to use the rope and try and pull myself down. Not gonna let this damn tunnel beat me.
I cast Bless on myself, Delia, and one of the 12s. Shara.
Sure.
That just adds a D4 to your roll
Okay.
for a saving throw.
Yeah, so using Bronwyn's rope, I'm going to try and pull myself down the...
So you guys can make your strength saves with advantage. Because of the rope.
I can actually do that for 2 more people because I had to cast it to a higher level. So I'll also do Clay and what's a Sarah's strength?
It is. Give me a second. It's a 15.
And Nick.
So I don't necessarily need it.
I have one more person I can bless. So
Nick is good, but I also rolled a nat 20. So
okay, so I'll give it to a 0. So everyone can add a D4 when they roll.
I got a 23.
Okay.
Mine would be 25.
Okay.
I rolled a 13 because that D4 canceled out my -1. And that's all I got.
Okay. What'd you get?
Let me. Where's my? Let me roll my D4 for extra D4.
Oh boy.
Because right now I've got a 3. So,
Oof.
Yeah. How do I? Oh, they're there. That's going to be a 5.
Oh no. Clay, did you roll?
20.
Okay.
And I got a 6.
Okay. So, Nick, Ashara, and Clay are able to get a hold of the rope and kind of just pull themselves towards the ladder. Delia, Diani, and Asira, you grab onto the rope, but you're just not strong enough to hold on, and you all go flying back into the wall, and you each take 2 damage.
So as
Were they close enough for me to like reach out and try to catch them?
They barely made it into the room.
Okay.
is the trap door is that like if Ashara looks around, is the trap door the only way out?
Other than the potential doors that Bronwyn saw in the wall.
Do I see those?
Would you like to roll perception?
I would. 18.
Yeah, you can see them.
Can I get to them?
That would be another strength save.
Oh, God.
Crawling on the floor.
Oh, God. 19?
Yes, you are able to get down on your hands and knees and crawl across the floor. So you all are just watching Ashara like let go of the rope and just fall to the floor. And just pulling yourself along, like, where's she going? You don't see the doors in the wall. And when you get there, you can see that it is actually a seam for a door. However, there is no handle. So I would have you roll an investigation check to see if you can figure out how to get in.
Oh, boy. All right, Loki, be nice to me. Natural 20.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you.
So you look up. There is enough of a seam that you can kind of like tuck your fingers in to pull yourself up to your feet. And looking up, and you can see that in the molding on the wall, there is a latch. So you are able to pull down on that latch, and the door swings open with a kind of cranking sound. And it's open. One of the doors is open.
Just sort of peeking inside. What do I see inside?
You see that the walls of the room are painted flat black, while the floor is inlaid with a colorful mosaic of the Evanuris, kind of dancing around the sun. And then straight ahead against the wall is an alcove with a curtain of shells and beads kind of hanging in front of it.
And it's not windy in there?
It's not windy in there.
I'm going to step inside and I'm going to shout, there's a better way out of here, maybe, but it's not windy. And can I reach, if I'm like standing in the doorway and holding on to the door that didn't open, can I reach out and can I reach anyone that's at the ladder?
It's kind of like in the center. So you've got people 10 feet away in either direction.
Okay.
I definitely misunderstood and thought the doors were through the trap door.
No.
Can I go peek my head into what's up the ladder so that we can decide which way to go?
Can you roll another strength save? Actually, I think this one would be dex. Dex or strength. You're going to choose strength because you're a warrior.
I am going to choose strength. However, I do get advantage on dex. But that is a 26 to climb the ladder.
You are able to climb the ladder and poke your head outside.
Is outside?
Kind of. Essentially, what you're seeing is the remnants of the ground level of the temple. So, like, half of it is still standing and half of it is just open.
I will convey that to the rest of the group.
Shouting over the wind. It's very loud in there.
It's outside! Do we want to go out or do we want to go through the doors?
At this point, Ashara, the door closes behind you. So you are now stuck inside that room.
That's valid. She was probably going to explore the room a little bit more anyways, because it's her.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm probably going to go with the door because I just closed on it. So should we close it? Just close it. Just close the trap door.
If we close the trap door, does that help with the wind at all?
Yeah, because that's how the wind is coming in.
Oh, okay. I closed the door.
The door is closed. You can all now stand. And you're all just completely windblown. Your hair is like blasted back from your faces.
But we still look kind of sexy. It's the sexy one.
What if we were all had our hair blown back in a sexy way and we were together in a tunnel underground?
Oh my god. What if?
What if?
Okay, I guess we're going over to the door where we gotta get in. But we didn't. No, sorry, I'm talking too much.
While they figure that out, Ashara is just gonna be like, well, that happened. Might as well look around.
Yep. So, yeah, there's not much in this room other than, again, the mosaic on the floor and then the curtain with whatever's behind it.
I'm gonna peek behind the curtain.
I figured you would. So behind the curtain is the chalky form of a statue seated on a stone throne with its surface carved to depict feathers. The statue is wearing a feathered headdress and a feathered robe. Lying across its lap in its open palms is a scepter of gold and silver with an eagle's head crafted on one end and the talons of a bird holding a blazing sun on the other. The most remarkable thing about the statue, however, is the face. And you realize that it resembles yours.
That's creepy
Mm-hmm.
and sus. I'm going to examine the statue very carefully, making sure I'm not going to set off any traps. I guess I'm looking for any kind of like writing or carvings or.
Yeah, you want to roll investigation?
Yeah. Oh, not great. Not terrible though. 18.
Yeah, so there are no traps. And you can see on the scepter there is sort of engraved along the side of it, just a little symbol of a ram.
Does it like the statue? Does it, with what little mage sense I have, does this statue feel magical? Like, is this, or is it just a really ancient statue that is just creepily similar to me?
It's just an ancient statue, as far as you can tell. No magic that you sense coming from it.
She would. She's going to touch the scepter. Kind of.
Okay. I was hoping you would.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
So the moment your hands touch the scepter,
There goes her arm. It's gone.
She gets to keep her arm. Don't worry, what happens may be worse. So, I told you there'd be trauma today. So you take the scepter in your hands, and immediately your vision is just whisked away to somewhere else. As far as you can tell, you are not in that room anymore. You are watching as these visions of ancient battles are just taking place before you. And you're standing there just kind of frozen, holding this scepter. And slowly kind of rising up from your feet, you begin to turn to stone. And you're standing there frozen, holding the scepter.
Nice. And I have no control over it. Brain's just frozen.
Yep.
Nice.
Before the stone kind of overtakes your eyes, essentially, you watch as the statue kind of shakes off the dust from the stone and stands up.
Holy shit. Oops.
So the rest of you, how do you want to try to get in? You didn't see how she kind of opened the door, so I would make you roll.
Yeah, I'll roll to investigate the door.
Hell yeah, Doormaster.
Ayo, watch me roll a 1. I did not roll a 1, it's fine. Let's see. That would be a 18.
Yeah, so you also find the latch up above the kind of molding of the door, and it swings open with that kind of scraping, creaking sound. And poking your head in, you do see the mosaic on the floor. A statue standing, holding a scepter in 2 hands. And then you see Ashara wearing a feathered robe and a feathered headdress.
Huh. That's new fashion for you. It's a little feathery, more than I thought you liked feathers.
I'm trying to decide if I want to let you play this version of yourself, or if you would rather I do it.
I'm gonna let you do it because one, I think you're better at trauma, and 2, it's just that way.
Okay. So you watch as this Ashara turns and looks at you and then kind of looks down at herself. I just thought it looked nice.
I mean, sure, it looks good.
Do you want one? She pulls out a feather from the robe and holds it up.
You're never this generous with me. Oh my
It's
god!
like a very bright, vibrant purple feather.
Oh wow, this is so pretty. What bird is this from? I've never seen a purple bird.
Oh well, they don't exist anymore.
Oh, that kind of dampens the mood.
Well, many things don't exist anymore.
Okay. I scoot back a little bit. I'm like, so she's makes me a little uncomfortable. Whoever's closest to Nick.
Are we all able to get
I was
in
gonna
there?
say, did the rest of us get in, or did
It
the
depends on if you followed immediately or not.
Did
Yes.
anybody follow?
If you all
Can I
followed
see it?
immediately, then yes. There's like 30 seconds for you to get in before the door closes again.
What if
Can I see if I can mess with the mechanism?
You talk to the inside.
I would like to go inside. Can I mess with the mechanism?
If you can find it.
I would like to investigate. Can I see the mechanism? 19. This is investigation?
Mm-hmm.
19 plus 9.
Yeah, so you can kind of, as the door is closing, you can kind of hear where the mechanism is. It is set inside the wall, so you are going to have to like break out a brick in order to get to it first.
I look at Ron.
I hit it. I hit it with my axe.
Oh yeah, you can get that brick out. Also, as you guys enter, the statue is standing with its back turned towards you, so none of you would see the face unless you like walked up to the statue.
I know her ass. I would know.
Oh no, I just assumed that's like weird wardrobe change, but all right.
I would like to look at the statue because detect magic. But I need to recast it because I forgot that it was concentration.
Mm. So,
never mind. I can't recast it. I'm still gonna go look, but I cannot recast it.
So yeah, you go around like from behind. You're kind of like, huh, that's a vaguely familiar looking backside between the outfit and.
I do not spend much time looking at my sister's
I'm not saying
butt.
you're looking at
I
her
gotta
ass.
say.
I'm just saying you're looking at her back. Like vaguely familiar hair, clothes, weapon, and then you circle around to the front, and then you see Ashara's face and the wide eyes that she has from when she watched the thing come to life.
Is is the clone standing facing away from me?
Yes, the new Ashara is kind of like facing the rest of the group from the head of the room.
I am going to try to catch Asira's eye and wave her over.
Sarah comes over. What's going on?
She's just gonna kind of point to the staff in the statue, and then like to the fact that it's Ashara's face. And, I can't do any more detect magic. Can you?
Give me just a minute and see.
At this point, the new Ashara is just kind of like looking around, very kind of spacey, like kind of like twirling around in their feathers, like, oh my gosh, I can move, kind of thing.
I don't actually have detect magic. I have dispel magic, but not detect magic.
Um,
Can I roll insight to try to figure out what's going on? Does that work? Without my since I don't have my detect magic.
Sure. I'll let you roll.
28.
So, you do get the sense that this isn't Ashara, but it still is in a way. You can't quite discern what it is that is off, but you know something isn't right with this person in front of you versus the statue.
I think she's just gonna try to like make eye contact with Nick and like shake her head like to. I don't want to piss anything off by saying something. So she's gonna try to make eye contact with Nick and be like,
Or is it you just that's all you're doing? You just
she's gonna kind of like gesture.
Okay. Nick's putting something together. So, Shara, what happened when the door closed?
Well, I came in, I touched the scepter, and I was enlightened.
While she's saying this, Nick closes her eyes.
I know you have a thing. What are you doing?
I can tell if it's telling the truth.
As far as, like, yeah, it's telling the truth.
Enlightened to what? Wait, you're not even holding the scepter anymore. Where's the scepter?
And she just kind of holds her hand out to the statue.
But what were you enlightened to?
I think when I touched it, perhaps, I don't know enough about magic to even. I think that maybe one of like an earlier version of myself merged with my current one. I saw these visions of battles from the past, and well, I put on this fun robe, so. But
Shara never laughs. You're not her.
Everyone laughs.
Not. If you knew.
Maybe that one. And she points at Bronwyn.
Bronwyn never laughs either.
I'm just over there having beat a brick out of a wall, and I look, what?
You don't laugh.
What is that supposed to mean?
You don't. I mean, you just don't laugh. She's saying that you would laugh. You don't laugh.
I laugh.
Name one time.
I just kind of look at my partners like, when things are funny.
What? That does usually when people laugh. That is true. But I still don't. There's something. This one, she gave me a gift. Says that she laughs. I don't. I think she's laughing.
Feathers to spare if anyone wants one.
No, I don't touch the purple feathers from things that don't exist anymore.
What do you mean? I'm standing right in front of you. And you accepted it.
Well, listen. Take it back then.
No, it was a gift. You keep it.
I don't want it now.
Well, too bad.
Fine.
Fine.
So, I don't. You know what? Go touch the scepter. Show us what you want.
What?
You said that you go touch the scepter. You said it enlightened you. So go show us how it enlightened you. You said it makes you see things.
Yeah,
Go touch it.
okay. And he goes over and touches it. And just like, it
Nothing
already
happens?
happened. I don't expect it to happen again.
Does anybody have any rope?
My rope is still out there.
And
I got you.
I look at the other rogues and I'm just like, help.
Callie, does this count as an illusion, a shape changer, or magic meant to deceive?
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna get behind this Ashara and just with some rope.
I'm gonna make you roll stealth.
That's fair.
It's the D20.
18.
Yep. I got a 9.
Alrighty.
So yeah, you are able to get the rope around. Arms are like straight jacket, not quite straight jacket, but to the sides. What Delia, what the fuck?
I was like, you don't actually know my name.
Bullshit. So what, you think I'm crazy now or what?
I'm gonna start tying the rope around her, and once it is tied, I am going to hold a dagger to this thing's throat.
Well, hey. What the fuck?
Like, nice try. You're not Ashara.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? I'm literally standing right here.
I don't know where Ashara is, but you're not her. You're not them.
Again, explain?
I don't have to.
I would like an explanation considering you're holding a fucking knife to my throat.
I'm gonna stab her.
Ow. Roll to attack. So you guys are just watching. Like, Clay and Brian are out, like, taking rocks out of the wall and, like, putzing with the mechanism. And Delia's just fucking shanking Ashara in the throat.
A 27.
Yeah, that hits.
And I do not believe this will count as a sneak attack, so that's okay. 7.
Okay. Yep. She's bleeding from her throat because you shanked her.
Yep.
What the rest of y'all thinking as you watch Delia shank Ashara?
I think I immediately go run between them and I go, Delia, what the fuck?
No, that's not Asara.
And I take my staff and kind of
What do you mean that's not
push
a Sarah?
I was like, I don't know how to explain that, like, where Ashara is, but this is not Ashara.
Who
I
is it?
promise.
Exactly. Who else would I fucking be? Ow, that really hurt.
Let me see your eyes. I just look in her eyes. Does she look like she's possessed?
No.
She's not possessed.
What did I give you for the giving holiday that's not Christmas?
I don't think you remember what you gave me.
I do.
Do you?
Yes.
Callie does not remember.
Oh, okay. But would Ashara remember?
Unfortunately, I don't remember what it was either.
Callie, close your ears.
But Ashara would have remembered because
Yeah. Was it? This was like a year ago, so
Yeah.
Were you the one that gave me a pastry?
No, I don't know how to bake.
So you had to bake it.
Well, isn't that how you make
There's many
pastries?
good bakeries.
I don't go to bakeries. They don't allow me in there.
Well, that's a you problem.
Okay, now it's kind of like Ashara. That was an Ashara response.
I can solve this, I think. At least on one end.
Okay.
Tiani is going to walk up to Bronwyn, and assuming that she is willing, I'm gonna cast True Seeing on Bronwyn, which allows her to, for an hour, you have True Sight. You have the ability to see things as they truly are.
What do I see?
You see, essentially looking at the statue, you see Ashara as you remember her. And then looking at the new Ashara, you see something that looks vaguely like between Darkspawn and a corpse.
Gross.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would like to immediately grapple not Ashara.
Not Ashara is technically already grappled.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Also tied up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like can I sense the taint from it?
No.
But I see like a dark spawn.
Kind of.
It looks like a dark spawn, but it's not.
Wait, what looks like a darkspawn?
You. What
Me?
are you?
I'm an elf.
You are not an elf. That's Ashara.
That's a statue.
Delia's gonna look at the statue and probably like now see that it has Ashara's face and be like, oh shit.
Can I like try to see if there's a way to detach the staff from Ashara's hand?
So looking at it, you can see that one hand is kind of clasped around it and the other is open.
I hold her open hand.
Okay.
Does anything happen?
No.
Okay. Can I
like it's open holding the scepter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah.
Roman, could you try to like break the scepter in half? Do you think that would work?
I can try.
It is solid gold.
Like a karate board. It's Bronwyn. Like Bronwyn's invincible.
I mean, like gold is a fairly soft metal.
It is.
I do also, I mean, can you break gold with gold? Because I do have a golden spear. But I feel like I'm gonna try to break it with just my axe, I guess. Like break off the kind of break it off in the center between the two hands.
Roll to attack.
$29.
So
I'm real sorry if I kill you, Ellie.
I fucked around and I'm finding out.
You all fucked around and you're about to find out. So
we're trying to help.
You bring your axe down in the center of the scepter, and it does go through, not all the way. However, the force of this does break her hand off at the wrist.
Bronwyn gets a new arm. Ashara gets a new arm. Everyone gets a new arm.
I just kind of
Quick question.
I look at
Was it the
Clay. I
opposite
Clay, and
hand?
I think you should.
Ellie, I'll
start
let you choose
working on.
which hand.
I think you should start working on another one of these.
I have another one laying around, so like
Which left hand, so the one that would normally hold the bow. So she'll
Well,
What are you doing? You broke a perfectly good statue.
so the hand that it was resting on is still intact, but the hand that was clasped around it is broken off.
Yes.
Can I then knock it out of her hand?
I mean, it's still holding it, and then like the end of it is kind of like hanging off like a broken arrow would. Like the splintered wood is kind of that way.
So this is a really bad time, but I do have smith's tools, and I'm just gonna start chiseling through.
Break her fingers too.
No, just like I'm trying to chisel a line between like trying to use chisel at the staff, not in the hand.
Are you proficient in smith's tools?
Yes, I am.
Roll a d20 with your proficiency bonus.
$17.
Okay. So it takes you a while, and the other Ashara is just kind of watching you like, okay. And you are able to kind of like loosen it and like gently like shimmy it out with minimal damage, despite the other damage.
I just kind of throw it down with, you know, the part of her arm that's missing now. Does anything happen?
No?
Okay.
You just have the scepter now.
Well, I am going to wrap up the stump just in case if she comes back to flesh, there's something to stop her from bleeding.
Smart.
And as I'm doing that, I'm like, maybe that one should hold it. And I like pick it up by Ashar's arm, and I
It's not holding it anymore. You were able to get it out.
No, but there's one arm that was attached.
Oh.
The arm that came off.
But I'm confused.
I'm just not touching the staff.
You would have to.
I thought there was
it was just resting on this hand. It wasn't a part of this hand.
Oh, I thought that's what I had to chisel out.
No, you had to chisel out from the one it was grasping.
Oh, okay.
The one that broke off was the one that was.
Then, in that case, I'm just gonna stick the piece of arm that came off back on and wrap that on, just in case, like when it just links back up like a worm grows. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick it back on and wrap it on there.
This is like Princess Mia breaking the finger off that statue and trying to like glue it back on.
And then I will, using my metal arm, I suppose, pick up the staff and give it and try to make the Darkspawn Ashara hold it.
It's kind of like sticking its hands out through the ropes, so it's just.
I just give it back.
It holds it. Nothing happens. Like, were you expecting something?
I'll sod it. That's as much as I got. I just kind of look back at everyone else, like I haven't made.
And then just kind of like drops it on the floor.
Does one of us need to hold it, like a new person?
You could try it.
Nick cares more about. Wait, no, she made a promise to Diani. I can't sacrifice myself. Hey, Diani, can I sacrifice myself real quick?
Ellie, do I have reason to believe that this is a condition that could be cured with lesser restoration?
With what?
With lesser restoration?
You could try it.
Please. If not, I'm touching it.
All my.
I will say she is technically petrified.
Okay. You touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. It says blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. So I wasn't sure if this would.
So it would not.
Okay.
The book specifically does say greater.
Okay.
So Nick's touching it.
Nothing happens.
No! Nick takes it and is going to whack the back of the head of the fake Ashara.
Ow! You stabbed me and then you hit me in the head?
Fix her!
Fix what?
Fix-
I am her!
You did something. You're the one
I
who
did something. I'm
I-
completely innocent.
That are some lies.
You're lies.
I mean, sometimes.
Yeah.
That is when it's necessary or whenever I feel emotions that I don't need to be feeling because I'm an assassin and not supposed to be feeling emotions. Oh gosh,
Well,
like
you need therapy.
you know what I do, but it's also really easy just to hide the feelings because last time I tried to show my feelings.
Nick,
It
you need
did
to
go out
talk to someone. I'm here for you.
I can't. No.
Nick, you have the spear, right? Or the staff?
I don't have. Oh yes, I have the staff.
Okay. I'm gonna try to reach out for it and just put it in fake Ashara's hands and see what happens.
It was already happened. Nothing happened.
Ah.
I don't know what to do. Do we kill her? Should we kill fake Ashara?
That's my vote.
We could try it.
Okay. Axe girl, you got this. Braun with the beheader.
Wait, are you just taking a vote on whether or not you should kill your friend?
You're not our friend.
I am too.
No, you're not. What is Ashara's boyfriend's name?
Ashan.
That is true.
I don't know if I can. Well, okay, so I still see a dark spawn.
Mm-hmm. Vaguely, yeah.
I still see vaguely a dark spawn. So I could kill that, yeah.
A dark spawn with Ashara's voice.
I've seen worse. I've heard worse. Yeah, all right. I guess I'm just gonna try and chop his head off.
All right, roll the hit.
Am I killing Ashara right now?
You could be.
I hold my axe back and then I put it down and turn back. What if it needs to be alive? Is there anything else we could try before this?
I think we've tried just about everything at this point.
I mean, is the statue carryable? We could just take them both with us for now.
I mean, you could try.
I try to pick up the statue, see how heavy it is.
Roll strength.
Dirty 20.
So it is about 3 times Ashara's regular weight. Can you lift 400 pounds, 400 pounds?
Oh yeah.
Bronwyn's like an ant. Bronwyn's like an ant, just lifts.
I just lift. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So you do struggle under the weight because that is a lot of weight for one person to carry, especially someone small like you. You are able to pick it up. You're very shaky. Granted, there is less weight because there's no longer a hand.
Is the only way out though up that ladder?
As far as you know.
I'm gonna set her back down. All right, let's maybe make this plan before I try to carry her.
And there's nothing else in the room.
Nope, nothing.
We're gonna look around the room.
The 2 doors that came into the room, but
is there anything else in the room at all?
No.
There was the floor. What is anything special? You said the floor was different.
There's a mosaic on the floor that's the Evanurus dancing around the sun.
Oh yeah. Maybe it's true love's kiss.
Oh, does that mean someone's gonna kiss me?
Would it unfreeze real Ashara?
We could find out.
Okay.
I used to hear stories. True love's kiss doesn't have to be romantic. So, and I just kind of look at Diani.
Sisterly, it's like Elsa and Anna. but but not kissing because they're sisters, but like biologically.
I mean, if we're gonna start kissing things, I think we should kiss the statue first.
And then the fake Ashara.
As a backup, yes.
Okay. So who's is Diani going to kiss the statue or should I?
Each take a cheek.
Okay. Oh my god. Here we go. Ma.
Nothing happens.
Okay, so now we have to kiss fake Shara. Should we do cheeks again?
Come on, Diani, don't you want to kiss me?
If not, I'll go right on the mouth.
You do? Her breath is awful.
I can't believe this is Nick's first in-game kiss.
Her breath is awful.
Oh,
It's
Ashara's
just
breath.
death.
Ashara's breath more minty than this. This isn't Ashara.
I guess, like, is it like the end of the day? Like, is it bedtime? Could we sleep?
I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's pretty
If
dark
we
in this
sleep-
chamber.
If we sleep, I can prepare make greater restoration.
That's why I'm wondering.
Can we take a little nap on it?
Like, I really don't. We can. I'll stay up. I'll watch the Darkspawn thing.
It's a dark spawn.
No. It just looks really gross.
No,
kinda
I'm a
like
Shara.
Darkspawn. It's not human.
Okay.
But
Well, no, I'm an elf.
It's not. It's not tainted in the same way as a Darkspawn. So it's not a Darkspawn.
Okay.
But it's not. It looks corrupted in some way.
So we're taking a break.
You guys want a long rest?
I think we should long rest and try that before I
Okay.
potentially kill our friend.
I'm down.
All
Now I'm
right.
healed.
Let's long rest and we'll take a break there. All right. So you all take a long rest. The other Ashara was up all night, kind of like trying to get out of the restraints.
I was watching her. I was watching.
Who took over guard shift for you though, so that you could also get the long rest?
Lila did. Oh, Delia did.
Delia did. Okay. So everyone got their long rest. It is the next day. Diani has spell slots back.
And I did prep greater restoration. So the first thing she is doing when she wakes up
Mm-hmm.
is she's gonna cast greater restoration on Ashara's statue.
Yeah. So you cast Greater Restoration on Ashara, the real Ashara, and you watch as the dust kind of like crumbles off of her, and you are able to shake it off. Immediately your wrist is just bleeding. Luckily it was wrapped. You do remember everything that has happened.
She starts freaking the fuck out.
What happens to the other one?
Stays the same.
Oh, I kill it. I chop his head off.
Roll the hit.
All right. Do I get advantage because it's grappled?
Yes.
It's auto crit.
It's a 21.
What's your damage?
Is it? Do I get an auto crit because it's restrained?
I don't know.
If I was to cast Cure Wounds on my hand, would it stop the bleeding?
Yeah.
I immediately do that before I bleed out.
Roman, if you have an ability that gives you an auto crit on restrain, then you would. But if you don't have that, it's just advantage. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like I read it somewhere, but mm,
The whole time Bronwyn is attacking this thing, Gianni's just like patting Ashara on the shoulder and face, like, you're okay.
She's immediately like just backing up against the wall as far as she can, kind of freaking out right now over the whole lack of a hand.
Are you screaming?
Yeah. Yeah, she's
The
definitely
other Ashara is screaming as well.
I do not have that ability. I must have read it somewhere. But does this get any sort of demonic ups, or is it demonic nature?
Actually, I believe it does.
Okay. $29.
All right. So you swing your axe as the fake Ashara is screaming. You lop its head clean off. However, it grows right back. And I'm going to make you all roll initiative now.
Delia absolutely screams when the head comes back. Like bloody murder screams.
Okay. Ashara, what'd you get?
a 19.
Asira.
I missed. What are we? Are we rolling for
Oh,
initiative?
initiative. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Give me just a second.
Yeah.
That's a 6. I am rolling pretty shitty tonight.
Jeez. Bronwyn.
24.
Clay.
17.
Delia.
16.
Gianni.
18.
And Nick.
12.
Hell yeah. Okay. Okay. Bronwyn, what would you like to do?
So when its head grows back,
Mm-hmm.
I stare for a minute, and then I'm like,
Closer.
Andraste's ass, no, and I just lash back. It's like, I go into a rage, and I immediately am just gonna try to chop its head off like 3 more times, just like as it starts growing back up. If it starts growing back up, I just chop off the little nub, just again and again. Okay. I can re-roll that. I got a 1, but I have an ability that lets me re-roll that.
Oh,
I
cool.
think. I'm checking. No, okay. That's damage dice. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a 14.
14 to hit?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing? Okay, that misses.
So yeah, I'm just so angry that I missed that one. The other two are a 28 and a 17.
One of them hits.
One of them hits. All right. I'm swinging so quickly that like I'm just like I hit and then I miss the nub as it comes back up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm adding these. Okay, 28 points of damage for the one.
To 28.
28.
Sweet. So yeah, you were just so appalled by the fact that the head grew back that your first couple swings miss. Just from the pure shock of it all. But when it does connect, it like lodges right in their shoulder by their collarbone. And it does kind of, because its turn is next. Do you have anything else you want to do?
No.
Okay, so because its turn is next, it kind of like grabs the hilt of your axe as closest to where it's lodged into its shoulder, because like it's still tied up, but it can reach its hands up, kind of grabs it and pulls it down further to slice through the rope while also taking some more damage. So if you want to do one more just normal damage roll for me.
$13. By normal damage roll, you mean not adding any of the demon modifiers, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
And then it's going to use its first attack free to push you away from him. Her, it, them. That is
It can try.
21
Against my strength?
against your AC. It is using its attack to push you away.
Yeah, that do be working then.
Yeah. So you're gonna go back to like there. And it's going to do, let's see. 12 damage on that. Oh, is everyone cool with where they're at?
Where's the door we came in?
It is that notch below Diani.
Can I be over there still?
Oh yeah. I can do that.
I think Tiani would be closer to Ashara.
Yeah, and I think I'm okay where I'm at.
Well, here we go. Okay. Anyone else? We're good? Cool. All right. So for its second move, it's gonna go for Delia. That is another 21 to hit. And you're gonna take 7 damage as it kind of slashes at you. You watch as its fingernails kind of extend and grow into these long claws, and it lashes out at you as it charges at you.
Awful.
And that is its turn. Ashara with Diani on deck.
Trying to debate how coherent she is right now.
I am going to make you. Well, does Greater Restoration restore the hand or no? So I'm going to make you roll with disadvantage on all of your rolls for this. combat.
Yeah, and she definitely can't utilize her bow at the moment.
Did you cast heal wounds on yourself though?
I did. I cure wounds myself while you all were.
So she's not like bleeding out.
Yeah,
That's not going to regrow her hand.
So I just have a stump right now.
It's a very like uneven cut.
But I
kind of crumbled.
I taped it back on.
Yeah, so it's not bleeding anymore.
Honestly, I think she's just gonna take her turn hyperventilating because, like,
cool.
She was a statue.
Do you want to retreat into a corner?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, she would love to retreat into a corner because what did she see? She saw overwhelming visions of like battles and shit.
Uh-huh.
And then listened to her friends question a doppelganger, and then is aware that they stabbed the friend, tied up her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's just gonna spend her turn hyperventilating in a corner.
Cool. Diani with Delia on deck.
Okay. I am gonna do spiritual weapon through my bonus action.
Cool.
And then I am going to cast Sacred Flame. So,
where are you putting your spiritual weapon?
2 in front of me, like right in front of the.
There we go. And now
I can't remember if the spiritual weapon gives flanking, so for now that works. Hold on 1 second. Is a 17 hit?
It does not.
Okay. And then I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame, and they need to make a Dex save of a 19 or higher.
That is an 18.
That is 23 points of radiant damage.
Cool. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm gonna make my way over towards like to stand in front of Ashara in case it starts coming at her. Yeah, that works. Unfortunately, regenerate takes a minute, so it's gonna have to wait until after the fight.
So, you kind of watch Ashara run back behind you, hyperventilating, and casting your spiritual weapon. It kind of lunges, but that's the doppelganger is so focused on that and dodging that it misses that you are casting a second spell at it, and it blasts it in the face with this burst of light. Delia, you are blinded for like a second as this light collides with the doppelganger, and it is your turn with Clay on deck.
As a going back to when it attacked me, I actually do have an ability that gives me a +6 on my AC, which would negate that.
Sorry, what? I just heard the +6. I didn't hear what was before that.
I have a defensive duelist, which when I'm wielding a finesse weapon, which I do, it adds +6 to my AC for the attack as a reaction.
Okay.
So that would actually negate that damage.
Okay.
So that's retconny, but whatever. Okie dokie. Since it is currently being flanked, I'm just gonna attack like normal.
Mm-hmm.
That is a dirty 20.
Yeah, that hits.
And since there's a flank, I get to use my sneak attack.
Yes.
All right. 10, 20, 30, 46. 46.
Okie doke. All right. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm going to go ahead and use insightful fighting
Mhm.
as my bonus action. So my insight versus its deception.
Okay. I'm just rolling.
Yep.
That is an 18.
I got a 28.
Oh yeah.
So next time I attack, I can add 3d6 on my sneak attack as well.
Cool. All right. So as it is distracted by the light and the six-eyed wolf that has come charging at it, you are able to use your weapons to jab at it, and it takes significant damage. It is kind of like, as you stab, it just kind of like blood spurts onto you, and it's not red blood, it is black.
Ew.
So you are covered in grossness. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Clay's turn. Nick on deck.
I'm gonna go on, get up on in there and flank. And to weapon attack. Yeah. That is 17 plus 11
That hits.
and a natural 20
Yeah, those both hit.
plus 10. Yes, okay. So 2. And also, since I'm flanking, I'm going to where's my notebook? Since I'm flanking, I'm going to use sneak attack, so that is a 12 plus sorry, it's a lot of die action going on here, Yearning. I rolled one of the oh, there goes it. 41. I rolled it online and it landed on top of each other. 2 dice landed on top of each other. It wouldn't tell me what the total was. That is 65 damage.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to do?
No, I will stay here for flanking.
Okay. So as Delia is getting covered in disgusting black blood, you are able to sneak up behind, stab, and it turns and kind of screams at you. Except it is still Ashara's scream. Nick's turn, Asira on deck.
Okay, so I'm gonna go around to flank, and then I'm going to see if I can sneak attack them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can. That'd be a 22 to hit. Awesome. So then that was going to be, let me move my dice. I gotta roll a lot. Okay. That would be 36 points of damage.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
Sneak attack is, so I can do a second slash or sneak attack the whole encounter because I have dual weapons.
think you can do a second attack without
Okay.
the sneak attack damage.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can hit it. Yeah, oh yeah. That's gonna hit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like 28.
Oh yeah, that hits.
So then that would be, I think it's, yeah. And it will be, it's just 6 points of damage that time.
Okay.
And that'll be it for me.
All right. So with the doppelganger distracted by the 3 other people flanking it, you are able to come up from behind and stab. All 3 of you are covered in disgusting black blood. And it is Asira's turn, Bronwyn on deck.
Cool. So, question: since this thing is basically surrounded by people, I would not be able to do Eldritch Blast. Is it a friendly fire? I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. Were you asking me a question or were you making a statement?
I was asking a question.
Sorry, what was the question? And I just figured
The question was,
end of it. You're muted.
there we go. Since the demon undead monster thing, doppelganger, is surrounded on all 4 sides, am I still able to use my Eldritch Blast?
What's the radius on it?
The range is 300 feet. The radius is it doesn't say. It's just like
Eldritch Blast isn't targeted.
That's what I was thinking too. So you should be able to cast that, especially since one of them isn't technically there. So you can blast right through the wall.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. So, okay. A 26.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. That's going to be 7 damage.
Okay.
28 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
12 damage.
All right.
24.
Yep.
6 damage.
Okay.
A 16. I'm assuming that's not going to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So
I think that's it.
Cool. Nothing else you want to do? Do you want to move or anything?
I guess I could. Yeah, I could move. I'm gonna go ahead and move diagonally down from Bronwyn.
On the right or the left?
The left. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So as the other 3 are being just drenched in disgusting black goo, you are firing off these eldritch blasts, and as they do, you kind of watch as like where it hits, it seems to like become stone for an instant before fading back into flesh. And you did a lot of damage on it. Let's see. It is Bronwyn's turn with the other Ashara on deck.
I'm gonna move up between. Can I stand in the spiritual weapon and it's just like
You can stand next to it.
okay. I was gonna say we just morph together, but
Maybe if it was still you,
it was still me.
but no.
That's
Tiani
fair.
had a change of heart.
That's fair. Okay, and then I guess I'm going to go for the knees this time in hopes that it like slows it down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like running up, sliding, and whacking
yeah.
at them kneecaps. That's a natural 20 for that one.
Yeah, that hits.
The second one is a 23.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one is a 26.
Those all hit.
Cool. Okay. So that is I'm gonna go for like I do like knee, head. Just like
Can you reach?
yeah, I can reach.
You try to stand up.
I'm so tall. I can reach. I've got a long axe handle.
To be fair, if it's Ashara's doppelganger, she's not that
Not
tall.
that much
She's not
taller.
that tall. Yeah.
Not that much taller. Okay. So that is $85 points of damage.
Holy shit.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So you take it at the knees. It falls to the knees. The knees grow back, but it is now on its knees. You go for the head now that it's its knees. It goes flying off, kind of rolls past Diani and over to Ashara's feet. So you're staring at your own decapitated face. And the head does grow back.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Traumatizing. Yeah.
Anything else you want to do?
No. That's
Okay.
it for me.
Okay, it is the doppelganger's turn with Ashara on deck.
Oh wait. I scored a critical hit, which means it has disadvantage on all attack throws until its next turn. Until my next turn.
Okay. Sounds good. So, it's gonna go for you because it is pissed off at you for taking it at its knees and its head again. So the lower one is a 16 for the first hit. And the second, whoa, it drops that one. Is a 20 for the lower hit. And I'm going for you.
Yes.
Do those both hit?
At 20. My AC is 20.
Okay, so the one hits.
The one hits, yeah.
Okay. So then you are going to take 20 points of damage.
What type of damage is it?
This is slashing damage.
So I take half.
Cool.
So 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
And that is its turn. Ashara, how you doing? Just checking in.
She was starting to do maybe okay until the head landed right in front of her face. Does it turn back into stone or is it just like a decapitation?
No, it's just her head.
And it's like just like her.
Uh-huh. And it's just blank stare, open mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just absolutely shut down. Not even screaming anymore, just staring at dead face. She just dissociation. She's shutting down.
Yeah.
So there's Nothing. She's in her corner. She's dissociating.
Turns to face the corner. Okay.
She uses her friends destroying what looks just like her, sounds just like her, sees her head there. She's just like,
Yo.
and so dead.
All right, child. Okay, it is Diani's turn. Delia on deck. Ma'am. I have a container of like sewing needles on the shelf.
She wants to do a craft.
Yeah, but she's not good at it. Oh, child. Okay.
We all have to suck at crafts at one point.
Yes, but we have opposable thumbs.
Fair point.
Okay, Diani's turn.
Diani is definitely crying, so that's fun. Spiritual weapon first, which is a 28.
That hits.
Cool. Now I have to remember what the damage on that is. Which does 12 points.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna do a 3rd level guiding bolt. 24.
That hits.
Bear with me. This is 66. It is.
Is it more than 5?
It's 27.
How do you want to do this?
Absolutely sobbing. Just a
Yeah.
mess. And as soon as she casts it, she's turning away and running over to Ashara. Like she doesn't even watch it happen.
Yeah, you cast this spell. What spell was it again?
It was guiding bolt, so it's radiant damage.
That's what I thought. So there's this bright burst of light. Everyone that's around the doppelganger kind of like stumbles back and falls on their butts. Only blinded for a couple seconds. And it's just a pile of dust. Like you can tell there's like broken parts of statue in this pile. Like there's like a fingertip, there's a nose, just little pieces that vaguely resemble Ashara still.
And it's all glittering because that is one of the effects of guiding bolt.
It is all glittery.
Makes
It's
it
so
shiny.
sparkly. You guys are just covered in glitter.
And black ooze, of course.
Yes, black ooze, and the glitter is stuck in the black ooze too. So you're just a hot mess.
That's some good crafting equipment.
You're sparkly.
And then
We're
she's
pulling
immediately-
Leviathan from Supernatural.
She's immediately gonna like sit down and kneel in front of Ashara and just be like, "I can fix it. It's okay. We can fix it."
She's totally unresponsive.
I think once the like rage ends, she like looks around and sees what's happening. She's gonna I go over to Ashara and I'm just going to say, I'm gonna get you out of here, okay? And wait to see if she responds. But if she doesn't, I'm just gonna pick her up and take her out of the room, carry her out.
You can't get out of the room yet. Clay's gotta finish.
I thought Clay was working.
Did
on
I
that.
not finish during that whole conversation?
No, man.
Didn't we long rest?
You long rested, but you gotta rest during a long rest.
Oh.
There was a whole conversation going on. How long does it take to fix the mechanism?
It's not broken.
I'm just trying to stop it. Can I not just stick a wrench in it?
You can try. Make a roll. with your proficiency bonus.
Some sort
And
of
the door is
roll.
open.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yes, you are able to dismantle the mechanism.
It is open.
While Clay is doing that, if it's okay
Well,
with Ellie,
Clay's claying.
I will cast Regenerate to fix her hand. It says it takes a minute to cast, and then for the next hold on, I need to find it again. For the next hour, if we get in any fights, you get a hit point for each turn. So every 6 seconds you get a hit point back.
Okay. And then
Just in general, because it's a healing spell first. So in theory, you would gain. When I cast it, you were supposed to get 4d8 plus 15 hit points. You're not damaged. I'm doing this purely to fix your hands.
yeah.
I will say it does take that hour to grow your hand back, so it's like Deadpool style.
If the hand is attached in the spell, it says if you put the limb, the severed limb to its stump, the spell instantaneously starts knitting it back together.
Except the hand remains stoned.
and then the regeneration and restoration stuff. But
he just has a stone hand.
Wait, so my question is though, if the regeneration part is that you have to stick this doesn't bother me either way. If the spell specifies that you have to stick the stump to stump essentially to regenerate it,
you don't have to. That is an extra note that if you have it, it makes it quicker, essentially. Okay. Otherwise, you regrow it over the hour.
Okay. That's what I wanted to
style. So you have this tiny baby hand.
And it's itchy.
Good thing she's dissociating.
All right. So you guys beat my doppelganger puzzle. Woo! They have to solve
was there a peaceful solution to that?
No. Well, actually, if you would have been able to cast Greater Restoration sooner, that would have done it. But you couldn't. So that's fine.
Oh, I just love that
good to know.
Nick's whole thing was, she's being too nice to me. I don't trust it. Because Ashara has been nice to Nick, but in a bitchy way.
Exactly. That's why the part when it was like, I can't go into bakeries, like, it sounds like a personal problem. Like, that's Ashara. That's an Ashara line.
All right, so you guys leave this chamber that housed the doppelganger and head back out towards the kind of hallway where the wind tunnel is. What would you like to do? You are muted, my good sir.
I was just saying that wasn't even the way out. You have to figure out the wind tunnel still.
I mean, how, like, once we kind of leave the room and get you out there, how is Ashara doing?
Tiny baby hand.
Tiny baby hand.
She's very quiet and very withdrawn and very just like the whole thing was a very bad. She's still trying to process what she saw and what she experienced and the fact that her hand is growing back very slowly. She's not really talking. She's not really looking around. She's there. She's where you put her.
Can you climb?
She'll just look down at her hand and just shrug like maybe. She just shrugs.
So I can climb up right behind you and keep your torso up. if you can, do the rest.
Is
Someone else
the
might have to go open it first, though.
yeah, isn't it just gonna this is Ellie asking, isn't it just gonna blow us back?
Depends on how you roll.
Well, I tie the rope around Ashara's waist. The other end of the rope that's not tied to the ladder is now around Ashara.
So, if this is me speaking.
Mhm.
If we send, like, I don't know, maybe Lila up who has a shield and causes there to be a barrier for the wind, if it's high, like, good, well enough, do you think that would cause the wind to not be as strong?
That would depend on how she rolls. Because
Okay.
it could just be a bigger surface area to push her back.
Oh, true. But God's got some dice. And roll well for Lila.
Yeah, but I'm rolling for Lila.
But you could. Please, dice God.
Do you want me to try it?
I mean, why not? It's a way that
have
will
her
be
sheet.
a little bit easier, maybe. I also feel like Lila would come up with that idea. Katie loves using that shield.
She does. I'm just waiting for this to load. Oh, stop it. There it is.
You have 2 new voice messages.
Who's got 2 new voice messages?
Whose phone was that?
So, Lila rolled a 22. So that will work. Lee, do you have 2 new voice messages?
Not anymore. I deleted them.
So yeah, the shield thing works. I am going to make her quick long rest. There we go. So yeah, she rolled a 22, so she is able to use her shield to. So she kind of like climbs up the ladder using her shield, pulls it open, and kind of directs the wind in the opposite direction. So that it is a little easier for you guys to get up the ladder if y'all want to roll some strength saves with advantage. Except Ashara, who has just normal roll.
I'm gonna cast Bless again on the same people.
Can I from the back just like be up close enough that I'm literally helping Ashara stay against the ladder?
Yeah.
To get her advantage.
Really well. You don't need to give me
Okay.
advantage.
Okay.
This is a strength save.
Yes.
I rolled a 29. I got
Oh,
29.
hell yeah.
I did really well. We'll say that Bronwyn was helping me.
Yeah.
And Dion.
Basically, who rolled higher than a 13? Hills?
Hills, don't forget to add your Bless. $16 plus a 4.
Hell yeah, you all make it up the ladder. You are now technically, officially out of this temple.
I need y'all to know that I got a 20.
Hell yeah.
In strength.
Hell yeah.
So as you guys kind of pull yourselves up out of the trapdoor, you can now see the true size of this temple and how high up you guys are. Once a major building, all that remains are the back wall and enough of the roof to shelter the altar that is on this level. All else seems closed off by fallen debris. Several pillars have fallen and they litter the floor. Sunlight filters through the holes in the roof about 35 feet overhead, which is a maze of chips and cracks. The back wall is covered by a relief of a giant ram, about 9 feet tall and spanning 20 feet across. In front of this wall is an altar stone carved to represent a mass of squirming humanoid bodies. On the front of the altar is the head of a ram with great curling horns, and jutting above the altar from behind is a great metal sun. The floor in front of the altar is worn smooth. It's like, the Mayan pyramids with the steps. It's like that kind of style, and you guys are way up at the top.
Is this the stuff that was for Lila?
I mean, kinda. But there are other things.
Do we want to do like RP stuff so Katie can be here for this part?
We can, but there are, again,
other stuff?
There are other things.
Okay.
And we can always come back next time to the things.
To relive it.
Yes. What do y'all want to check out?
Sarah's gonna check out the altar.
Yeah, so looking at the altar, you can kind of see, so there's that, it's like a kind of a cube, the thing with the squirming bodies that makes up the altar. There is like a flat surface on top that's just like an old slab of rock. And it is, you're guessing, stained with blood.
Cool. I am going to, I guess there's nothing really, anything else to investigate there. What happens if this is so dumb, but I want to do
I
it.
like dumb decisions. Ellie knows.
What happens if I take out a dagger and I cut across my hand and then put it on the stone slab?
I like this. I did not plan for this, but I like this.
Lila's gonna be pissed.
So, you do this. And I'm sorry. Katie with the sheep in the chat. So you do this. You step forward, you cut across your hand, and the blood drips down your hand onto the flat surface of the altar. And the first few drops kind of soak into the stone itself. And then it gets dark.
Do we see this happening?
You see the dark. I don't know. Are you being stealthy with your hand slicing?
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
Roll stealth.
Roll stealth. Okay.
I will also have you take 1 point of damage for slicing your hand.
Okay, yeah. That was gonna be my next question. Okay. Come on. That's gonna be a 15.
Okay. So, what's y'all's passive perception? If it's
21.
If it's higher than 15, you see her doing stupid shit.
Absolutely not.
23.
Yeah, you are not very secretive.
Doing
Everyone
stupid shit in the
sees
most
you.
perceptive party.
I immediately, when I see her doing this, run over and try to knock her down away from the altar and stand between her and it, just absolutely screaming,
Make an attack roll.
What the fuck are you doing?
Make an attack roll.
14.
What's your AC?
My AC is 16.
So you go charging towards her, and like she hears you screaming and like sidesteps at the last second, and you go like somersaulting over the altar.
Can I go
How
look
tall
at
is
the
this altar? Because that's a lot. That's pretty high somersault for me.
It's like normal person knee height.
Okay.
So what'd you say?
Can I go look at the altar and see what I can figure out about it from like a history point?
Yeah, you want to make a history check?
I mean, I don't, but
Do it anyway.
18.
Okay, so looking at this, so you know that Elgarnon is the god associated with the sun, and with the sun kind of behind the altar, and with all the other kind of motifs and things that you've seen, and the ram, you can discern that this is his temple. You guys kind of knew that from the beginning, just based on other context cues. You can't really get the magical kind of doings with this, but you do know that this is definitely his space. And especially with the sky going dark, like it's not, if you guys were to look out, it's not a cloud that's just covering the sky. It is a full-on solar eclipse.
Why?
Very, very quietly, you just hear, maybe we should get out of here.
Think I fucked up, guys.
I'm into that plan. Let's go.
You think? Do you think? Maybe perchance that was not a good idea?
Minutes. "15 minutes."
No, I felt compelled.
That's what demons do. That is what blood magic. That's what demons do. They compel you to make bad choices.
Say no to drugs.
Maybe if we wipe the blood off the altar.
It kind of already soaked in, so
Oh yeah, you did fuck up.
You guys hear a loud crash of thunder.
So what else is around here aside from...
It's pretty much rubble and the altar. And like the back wall behind the altar is the big like carving of a ram. And then there's the metal sun that's kind of like sitting directly behind the altar. And then the altar is like the squirming people, and then there's like a little ram's head that's on the front in the middle.
Okay, forgive me because I wasn't here when we entered the temple that day. Are we like, I know you said it's crumbled and we can see the sky and everything. Are we up in the, like, are we like floors up in the sky, or are we at ground level?
You are like Mayan temple at the very top.
Cool. Is there a like clear way down if we look over the edge?
Stairs.
Okay. We should go.
Is there anything else to investigate while we're up here?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking until Katie gets here.
Yeah.
Is she like on her way?
Yeah, she said
Like,
The gate
15
is
minutes.
15 minutes away. That's why we're trying to stall.
Oh shit. Okay. Do you guys just want to take a break?
Yes, actually.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be good if it's just going to be that quick.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton left, so
Yeah,
Okay.
her response was, "I'm home in 15 minutes. You better not all be dead."
okay. we'll wait for her because this will be good. This will
Yeah.
be good. We'll quick recap for her and then we'll come back and it'll be hopefully a quick thing. All right. So the sky is dark. There was a big crash of thunder. And you're all just kind of staring at Asira like, what the fuck did you just do? Mom has returned.
I mean,
And she was not stealthy. Literally everyone saw. What's your passive perception?
oh god. 12. No, 13.
You didn't see it happen!
Are you serious? Yeah. Oh my god.
You have no idea what just happened. Everyone's just yelling at Asira. And you have no
Why
idea
is my
what's
passive
going
wisdom
on.
so much lower than everyone else's then?
Because
What
you're a
was that?
warrior.
Okay, so I have no idea what happened. Just suddenly there was an eclipse.
And you just know everyone's... Bronwyn tried to tackle Asira. Can you imagine a dwarf hurling herself at a Canary?
Having romanced the bull as a dwarf? Yes, I can.
So there's this crash of thunder. And as you are all are kind of like turned towards Asira, focused on her and whatever the fuck she just did, you all hear a voice coming from behind you. I see
I
you.
swear to God, if this is Solas and I just came back, I'm gonna be so
It's
mad
not
at you.
Solas.
Okay.
He says, I see you've conquered the dangers of my temple. Turning, you all see a tall, muscular elven man with dark skin. The tips of his black locks seem to be dipped in the same gold that glitters in his melancholy eyes. He wears a shawl of deep terracotta, and he wears that over his plain tan tunic, and he wears leggings and a sun pendant around his neck.
We've met him before, right?
You have.
This is the one we broke out from the temple. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so but Lila and Sarah haven't.
They have not.
Okay.
So again, he says, I see you've conquered the dangers of my temple.
I see you put dangers in a temple.
Yeah, you could have like welcomed us. We did help you.
We literally broke you out of your jail cell, but
I never said that these dangers were put there specifically for you.
no,
They
but
were
you
put
didn't
there.
stop them from happening to us, did you?
It's kind of difficult to do.
It's your temple.
I love that we've gotten to the
And
point
they are
that the
physical
moment we
traps,
meet a
not
god,
magical
we sass
traps.
them.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I love that we've gotten to the point where the moment we meet a god, we start sassing them. The
Yeah.
moment they open their mouth.
That's okay. I love it too. These dangers were not put there specifically for you. They were put there to withstand the course of time and those that would wish to defile the temple itself. You falling in was simply an accident.
And surely there's like a back door or something that you use that you could have said, hey, over here.
If I had known you were in there. I didn't know until this one, and he points at Asira, made a sacrifice to me. And thank you for that sacrifice. I do appreciate it greatly.
You know, speaking of us in the temple, why were we on on the wall in there?
What wall?
The wall down at there. There's a mural, and we're all on it, and we got little friendship necklaces out of them.
What?
What do you mean? What? This is your temple.
Doesn't mean I built it.
Well, also, why are there two kids in there that is asleep?
They chose to go into the Uthanera until I returned.
Well, you're returned.
They did not know. I was
That
planning
sounds
on
like
summoning
poor
them
communication.
well, depending on what you all decide, I was planning on summoning them, but we shall see.
We shall see. Lila,
know now.
talk to him. Lila, deal with this man.
Mom, this man's being mean to me.
Is there a prophecy having to do with us that no one's mentioned yet?
Well, of course there is. I mean, not necessarily you, but involving the Evanurus, and you all saw the mural in Mythos Labyrinth, most of you. The rest of you saw it. I assume you've seen it.
That mural didn't have us on it.
No, I doubt it would have. Why are you so convinced that you are on a mural? You're simply
we saw it.
random people we chose.
We saw a mural with
Well,
us on it in your temple. So,
And I think it's a little odd that you would I don't think you can just say that it's the people that you chose, because myself and Asira we joined before anyone chose us.
Can you show me this mural? Of course, I can deflect all of the dangers of the temple.
I would rather not. No.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna stay out of that.
I'll go back in because I want fucking answers.
I'll go too.
Yeah, I will as well.
All right. Anyone else coming, or the other people staying?
Well, we're not gonna split the party. So,
or we could.
No.
Sitting. No.
I guarantee you will not be hurt. You have endured the trauma of today's session. Okay, so you guys lead him back into the temple. He dispels the wind, so you don't have to deal with the wind tunnel anymore. And he leads you back around the secret hallway into the chamber with the mosaics. And he looks up at it. I do not remember this being here. And he's kind of like surveying the whole thing. And he's kind of muttering to himself, like, okay, like, the Ravenous Earthman. He stops in front of the picture of Lila and sees the ram in her hands. He turns and looks at her. I see. Unlike the rest of the Evanurus, I was not given the opportunity to choose a champion. As you know, well, most of you know, I was locked away. And for whatever reason, Gillinan did not choose to free me as she did the others. Tell me, Lila, was it? Were you chosen by any of the Evanurus?
Yes.
Who?
But as she racks her brain to remember the name that's not Jimmy. Yeah, thank you. I'm a little thrown off today. Yeah, like Valentin.
But according to this mural, the dwarf was chosen by Valentin.
She was kind of like a second thought, you know, like a little addition sprinkled in.
He does do that quite often.
It's Jimmy.
We joined for our own reasons. I was not called by any member of the Evanuris to join. We joined because we saw this as a concern for everyone.
This mural seems to suggest otherwise. I did not put this here. I did not commission this. So someone put this here. Perhaps it was done by magical means after I was imprisoned. Either way, it is clear that you are meant to be here.
Does the ram signify anyone?
Me.
Oh shit.
It is my chosen animal. I kept one as a pet, actually. His name was Ferdinand.
That's nice.
He was very good until my children decided it would be well.
Did you make yourself laugh? Callie, murdered by their own joke.
Sorry. Until my children decided they sorry. Sorry.
Do we need to take another break?
It had been a slow hunting season, all right.
Oh, terrible.
Slow hunting season. And, well, my children are assholes, and one of them is a born hunter, so Ferdinand died.
Lila slowly thinking to herself, how do I transition out of that fucking story? So you didn't have anything to do with this mural.
No. The others.
You didn't even know my name, so how could you have anything to do with picking me?
I didn't, but magic works in mysterious ways.
Okay. Could she who's the closest elder? She wants to stick over and be like, what's this the god of again? How fucked am I?
You just look at the altar. You see again that the altar made up of squirming human bodies.
That's not
bodies. The two rams and then the big sun behind the altar.
I mean, the best one there, the god of the sun. I'm a little worried about the squirming bodies part. I think she's just gonna try to ask, did you, speaking of Valentin, have you seen him?
Not recently.
We thought he might be here.
Someone kidnapped him, so
he's not here. I would know. I know kind of who's
insight check.
No, we were here. You just said that.
Can I insight check him?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's a nat 1, so
I got
You
a
were
16.
just awestruck by the fact that this elven god of legend is standing in front of you, and he's really fucking hot.
Yeah, he is pretty hot.
He's fucking hot.
He's pretty
However,
hot.
Ashara is also
I
growing
can-
back
I can
her
read
hands.
the art of him in chat.
I got a 16 on insight.
So you He's telling the truth. He doesn't know where Valentina is.
Could you do some god stuff and find him then? Because the last I heard from him, he was about to be either captured or murdered, and that's kind of why we're here.
I'm sure. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do from here.
Well, you could zap over and do it from somewhere else if you wanted.
I could. I don't know how to find him. Him and his fates, whatever, makes it very hard to find him.
So who does know how to find him?
I would hope Gillinan, considering she's the one who freed him. But can't be sure.
We didn't have the best interaction with Gillinan, if you couldn't tell, and she kind of gestures to Asira's face.
I see. Interesting. That she chose you. I thought she'd chosen someone else.
Yanni's gonna step behind someone taller than her.
If Gillinan chose you, that would mean Fen'Harel has chosen one of you.
What are you talking about?
Laura's gonna speak up and
Sounds
just be like,
so convincing.
Hey,
Shauna
my
just
deception's
speak up.
really high.
I know it is.
And she's just gonna ask, does that change things if Fen'Harel has chosen someone?
No. But it is a surprise.
Why?
He always thought himself above the rest of us. And for him to choose a champion says that his heart still lies with the Evinuris.
So is this all just some big game to the lot of you?
I was not involved in the making of it. I was locked away. I'm simply a pawn at this point, like the rest of you.
Can I pull Bronwyn aside?
Yeah.
Like what would seem out of earshot? I know he's a god, but like he's only kind of a god. I am lost, as I always am. Bronwyn, this feels exactly like stupid fucking noble squabbles over who had the best fucking dress. Like, what are we doing?
These are insanely old, powerful people picking fights, probably over very petty problems. Talk to them like a noble.
Wait, no, I don't understand what we're supposed to do, because are we trying to like kill all of them? Like,
at this
solution
point,
to nobles being shits is not to kill all the nobles.
At this point, we need to find Valentin, and we need to get more information, because so far no one has been able to give us real information.
I know what it is.
Who can give us information about what the fuck is happening? She just leans over and yells at her.
He just kind of
throws up her hands and kind of comes back over.
I can tell you a little bit about what the fuck is happening.
All right. Go off. Pretend we know absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Because some of us don't.
So let's lock the Evinuris away. I'm not sure why. I just know all of a sudden I was locked away in a prison underneath my dead wife's temple. You know how traumatizing that was?
Are we sure that didn't have something to do with enslaving a whole bunch of people?
Why would it have anything to do with that?
Because a lot of people probably didn't like that.
I mean, sure, but I'm a god.
Does what he say, is what he's saying jive with what we've seen in the murals? at
Pretty
all.
much. I mean, he's saying he was imprisoned. You guys freed him from prison.
No. I mean, like the timing of it, like him saying that he didn't have anything or any like reason to suspect why Solas would have imprisoned him when technically the elves know that it's because they murdered Mythal. Like, does that jive with what we see in the mural of them all like going after?
Roll insight.
Would I know? Would Lila know that?
Insight.
Do we know who killed Mythal? Would Lila know who killed Mythal?
You've seen the mural where so Solas
a
is
bunch
holding
of them,
Mythal's
right?
body and the other people are coming, the other viewers are like coming at them essentially.
Yeah, the implication from all of those things is kind of like it was a group thing.
Yeah, my insight was 17.
So you get the sense that he is telling the truth. That
So
he isn't that
that the imprisonment caught him specifically by surprise.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I suppose we could talk about what might have led to that at another time. I'm sure that was very difficult.
Do you know why I was imprisoned?
Again, I can only make guesses. The things that, if someone imprisons you, it's probably because they're very angry with you. And
why were they angry with me?
The enslaving thing was probably part of it. People don't really like being enslaved, so sometimes they fight back against that.
I mean, sure, but that doesn't explain why I was specifically imprisoned by Fen'Harel.
Fen'Harel.
Well, he may have not liked the enslaving. Was he doing enslaving?
I actually don't know.
I mean, if you look at a
Never
group
asked.
of all of you, not all of you were enslaving, I think. So some people may disagree with that.
I mean, sure, but I don't think that means that I should have been imprisoned beneath my dead wife's temple.
Well, that's the other part. I mean, how did your wife die?
I don't know. I just know 1 second she was alive, and the next she's fucking dead in Solas's arms.
I know there's a lot of nitty gritty. Can we get back to the whole overview of what is happening real quick? Just finish that out before we ask questions.
I mean, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I would like to come back to this whole not knowing how Mythal died part some point, but anyways, yeah. So then you had the very unfortunate experience of being. Were you aware for all of this time that you were in prison? Oh well, that does sound not fun. You weren't like asleep. You were aware.
I was very much awake.
Ooh.
The rest of them found me. I was chained up in a magical force field barrier thing and alone for centuries.
That I am honestly, and I am being very genuine here. I am very impressed that you are not completely stark raving mad.
No, that would be Andrew.
Yeah, we kind of know that.
Have you seen her recently?
Briefly.
You just see Ashara in the corner, like.
Except it's the baby hand.
Now, I'm sure while you were all gallivanting throughout my temple, I'm sure you're smart enough to have discovered my wife's tomb.
Yes.
She didn't have one before I came back. Like, she was there.
They just left her body? Just on the floor?
Yes.
Well, that's awful.
Not sure who, I can only assume it was Fen'Harel, seeing as he was the only one not imprisoned.
I thought he seemed to have a good relationship with her.
That's what I thought too. But for him to leave her on the floor in the rotting underbelly of my temple.
I am the last one to defend Fen'Harel, but I will say that I think he was asleep. He kind of looks at the party like, am I talking crazy?
If he was asleep, it was of his own doing, because he was the only one who was not imprisoned.
Well, he did also do the thing where he created the veil. No, I don't know that. I'm sorry. Do I know that? I don't know that.
Ooh, I don't know if you know that.
Never mind. Never mind.
We've discussed it at some point. I don't know how far
that's
out.
Katie knowledge, not Lila knowledge.
I think I only know because of the sleep topics.
Yes.
Sorry, this is called I've been replaying Inquisition too much lately. Well, that is strange. And so do you think that all of the Evanurus were trapped at the exact same time?
Well, aside from me, yes. Well, we were initially trapped at the same time. I was just last to be freed.
Oh.
May I ask a question?
Of course, child.
Why wouldn't they free you?
They could not get to me. You met Elvhen. He was one of the first sent to free me. And as you know, he did not achieve his goal.
If they were all free, why didn't they go themselves?
Exactly.
We made it through.
Because my wife was a crafty bitch.
Excuse me?
Maybe she's trying to leave you, dude.
My wife was a wonderful woman, and she wanted a sanctuary of her own where the Evanurus could not bother her. So she built her temple and warded it to keep the rest of the Evanurus away. So not only was my imprisonment in her temple shitty, I was also in constant pain because of her magical barriers that she put on it.
So I would like to specifically insight check his comment of she was a wonderful woman, because I want to try to understand if he actually
go for it.
His feelings for her.
Did this man actually love his wife? Must know.
Not great. 14.
You, as far as you can tell, yes, he genuinely loved his wife.
Oh, okay. So why do you think you would have been? So you were in prison. How are the she kind of like turns to the group. How are the rest of the Evanurus imprisoned? Were they all imprisoned the same way and released at the same time?
So if you look at, if you go back to the mural, it shows where they were all imprisoned, kind of. So I'll reread it for you because you didn't get that. So it's the second wall. So the first one was like Solas holding her body while the others were coming at them. The second was Fen'Harel standing up in Skyhold, casting his magic, and he put Elgar'nan chained in the Thal's labyrinth. Dirthaman turned to stone in his own temple. Andruil was absorbed into the tree. Gillinan was entombed in the deep roads. June was trapped within his own forge. Silas was kind of enclosed in fire with her son. And Valandine is shown falling from the sky in the fade.
So how did everyone else get out at the same time?
The next one shows Gillinan breaking free and then freeing everyone else except for him.
Oh, okay. So it was just like he had the worst thing to get out of.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that there are a lot of questions about everything that's built up to this, but if we could get some information about what's happening now and why the 8 of us were brought into it, I think that would help us figure out where to go from here.
Well, I would ask that you help the Evanurus simply because, well, I know Solas is the one who locked us away.
But help you do what exactly?
Exactly.
Return the world to its natural state.
Which is what?
Does that include the slavery?
No, not necessarily. I believe that slavery is a thing of the past and we should no longer do that.
Can I insight check that?
You can, if you would like to.
Insight check that. Says the man who has an altar of swarming bodies.
Check that.
That was a 6, so
my insight was 30.
What?
Oh, damn!
Nice.
He is telling the truth. He does not want to
Strange.
slavery.
Strange.
This is a genuine man.
She has stepped out from whoever she was hiding behind to make eye contact with him, by the way.
And he does make eye contact with her and kind of like takes note of the scars on her face. And he's like,
Yeah, so what's the world's natural state?
Natural state is, well, the veil. Removing it so that spirits and people can live freely together. I know you've likely had terrible experiences with spirits. I know the more sinister spirits can be a bit much, but there are ways to control them. Humane ways to control them. And
so why, I don't understand why you think that having a few handfuls of people who know how to handle a world like that would somehow mean that the majority of the people in the world right now would survive. Because the reality is that
they do.
How?
It's not that hard. We did it before. It was the natural
Lila contemplates the circle and the Templars and all the shit that happens in the world because
he doesn't know about the circle or the Templars.
Yeah, I know. That's well, I regret to inform you, but we have been trying to deal with even just the spirits that managed to get here now and that's failing quite miserably.
That's because your mages lack the training.
So how are you going to train an entire world's worth of people?
Easy. Divide and conquer.
Easy. This
well,
is
I love your optimism.
All of Thetis we're talking about. There are unidentified mages living as children that don't even know that they have.
You're right. However, Thetis is not as big as you seem to think it is. As a child of stone, I'm sure you have not discovered most of its secrets yet.
Or maybe you think yourself so big that you think you have the right to make these decisions for the rest of the world.
Remind me again, how long have you been away?
Well,
not awake. How long have you been free?
About a year and a half, 2 years.
And you know
how much have you left this temple?
World?
I did not hear what either of you said.
I said, how much have you left this temple?
Oh, this is only the second time I've been back to this temple.
I don't think you comprehend how much the world has changed. How much
I've seen it. I've walked.
People fear magic.
I have seen the fear. I have.
And you can't just rip down the veil and expect people to adapt to it. You're launching a war across Thetis, a war that will affect everyone and every race.
You greatly misunderstand. Yes.
Oh, this is just Ashara, like, spoken in. So does that mean that you have a slightly different goal than Gillenon? Because she seemed pretty intent on just ripping things down, and Andrew was absolutely batshit insane before we dealt with her to some extent.
Sorry, did we want to tell that?
Yeah, I'm literally carrying, like, two of us are literally carrying her weapons, like, out in the open. This
That's
man
fair.
had bombs.
That's fair.
I do not know what Gillenon has told you, but if you
All I
her,
know, June seemed content to just sit out the sidelines and wait.
She's always been quite the pacifist.
Which means that not all of the Evanurists are aligned in their goals. So is your goal aligned with hers?
I believe so, but I think you misunderstand her goal.
When was the last time you talked to the rest of the Evanurists?
Oh, a couple days ago.
Great. How about you arrange a meeting with all of them together so that we can get some real information and not just a bunch of...
Are you saying with you? Because I just saw them all the other day.
Yes, with us. The selected champions that were
before we surround ourselves with Evanuris, maybe we could get an answer about what you think we're misunderstanding about your goal.
I think you purely think we intend to tear down the veil and let the demons wreak havoc on the world. That's not the case. We want to take it down, but we are prepared and have the tools to prevent chaos.
And how do you handle
everyone
that don't want?
Yeah, I would. Why do you get to choose?
We're not choosing anyone.
You're choosing to remake the world.
We're choosing to return it to its natural state.
Which was a long time ago.
Returning to what it was before. The world is at where it's at now for a reason.
Because one man made a decision that affected the entire world.
And now, thousands of years later, the world has built itself back up into what it is today. Who are you to show back up and change everything?
Not to mention it was almost destroyed again recently. Trying to fix that, isn't it?
That's because Fen'Harel is incompetent.
She looks a little bit offended.
Lila cracks
he just
up.
makes eye contact with her.
I think it is reasonable for me to ask you why we should trust that you're more competent than him.
Well, one, we did not murder my wife.
Who did?
I don't know.
Then why do you know it
I
wasn't?
woke up one day and she was dead in bed next to me.
All right, so there's two arguments against you there because first of all, you have no idea if it was the other Evanuris, and second of all, how competent were you at keeping your wife alive?
You
Honestly,
just
this seems like a communication issue.
When you say that, his eyes like flash red for a moment. I loved my wife and did everything I could to give her everything. And for you to think that I had any hand in her death.
You have completely convinced me that you did not, at the very least intentionally, have anything to do with her death. I am more concerned about handing the fate of the entire world to you when you still don't know how someone close to you was killed.
It would not go to me.
Who would it go to?
Everyone else.
And
But you're the one who's saying you'll keep everyone safe.
You just called one of your children insane. You really want to hand it to them? psychotic, whatever that term was?
Well, I assume you folks killed her.
No, she's still
Wait,
out
which
there.
one, Andrew or your kid?
Andrew.
Andrew. I assume you killed her based on the context of what you were saying.
Well, you just said you saw all of the Evaners just recently. Was she among them?
She was not. Honestly, I stopped counting her as Evaners a long time ago.
I would also like to ask the question of, well, she's like, well, it's happened now. I guess I'm finishing this. In what context are you a god then, if all of you can die?
We are not the ones who decided to be gods. The people decided we were gods.
And I'm sure you did a lot to keep that from happening.
I mean, I didn't stop it from happening. I just kind of went with it. I'm sure you've seen the movie Road to El Dorado.
I was just thinking that. It's tough to be.
Ashar speaks up. I have a question that maybe gets us on track a little bit here. We are circling quite a bit. What is the plan to tear down the veil? How does one, or multiple people for that matter, do something like that?
Because we don't want a second conclave.
Well, that won't be happening again. All I know is that Gillinan has the plans. And she knows the magic to make it work.
I'm sorry, Gillinan, the one who forcibly, without consent, put markings on my friend's face? That's who I'm trusting the world with. That's who you want me to fight for.
It was my understanding your friend chose to accept her.
Conditions were not explained, if that's how you want to take it.
But she still accepted them.
She didn't accept the marking.
She accepted her help and therefore accepted the markings as well. I'm not saying it was right, I'm just saying. It made her more powerful, did it not?
Lila stares in audacity.
So
I mean, a power that I feel like I can barely control.
If that's the case, then you simply need a teacher.
You seem to be explaining this away in the same way you're explaining away forcing upon a new world on everyone else without their consent. Forcing them to learn new skills. To survive without their consent.
They would not need to survive. We would keep the demons at bay for them, so they would not have to deal with that on their own.
You keep the demon or the spirits or both?
The spirits are harmless.
Not harmless when you're terrified of them. Isn't
Why would
that
you be terrified?
Because that's what we've been raised to believe our entire lives? My other question is, have you factored in the fact that there are, she kind of gestures to herself, people who their race I don't think was around when last there was no veil?
Oh no, humans were around. Just not in this specific vicinity.
What happens to the mages? And what happens to the people who aren't mages and don't have magic?
Well, I would suspect the mages would gain a greater connection to the magic. And those without it, well, they will, if need be, adapt. It's not difficult. My magic is limited in itself. I've adapted.
This is one optimistic son of a bitch. There are countless mages who have lost their minds with the only access to the fate that we have now. Having a deeper connection to the fade. I don't see how most mages would be able to handle that.
You are not a mage, correct?
Correct.
How can you assume to understand the minds of mages?
I don't know how I'm assuming to understand the minds of mages. Obviously, I don't understand what it's like to have a connection with magic because I don't. But I do understand that the ways that we know of now to have a greater connection to the Fade, to have access to more power, inevitably have led to bad things.
And that is simply because the mages lack the proper training.
So you're going to train every single mage in the entire world before you tear down the veil.
Perhaps simultaneously.
How? You're able to speak to an entire world at the same time?
I'm sure one of us is.
Obviously we're not going to agree on this. So say magically, we all agreed with you. We thought that this was a great idea.
It is a great idea.
Why are we here? What are we the champions of?
Yeah, if you're so all-powerful that you can train every single mage in Thedas before you tear down the veil,
we have a man who can access everyone's dreams. It's not that hard.
They have to believe. Training someone is not just throwing some knowledge at them and then suddenly they know how to do something.
You underestimate Valentine.
How do we find Valentine? You're saying he could do all of this stuff, but he's gone. So if you could help us find him first.
He's likely training the first group of mages.
He's not.
We haven't been able to find him. We haven't been able to contact him. The last contact we had with him was dire straits. He was being hunted by something.
Well, that's odd. Normally
we were
off in the Fade with his pop rocks.
We were led here partially because we had some inkling that he was in the general vicinity.
Oh, maybe he is. I don't keep track of him. I'm not his keeper.
Is a way to track him?
I mean, your whole plan sunk if you can't find Valentine now, right? How do you communicate with everyone
Just because
at once?
I can't find Valentine doesn't mean that the others can't find Valentine. He and Dirthaman have a very connection. You know, the whole twin thing.
It seems like there's a lot of things that you don't entirely understand about your own plan. And I'm saying that as respectfully as possible. I don't know how you can expect people to follow you if you don't understand what's happening.
And when you pretend that you do, at least admit that you don't know what you're doing. I would respect that more.
I mean, I suppose I'm just used to it at this point.
So if Gillenon calls the shots, is there a way that we can talk to Gillenon so that we're not thrashing about aimlessly?
I don't think you mean what you ask.
Oh,
No, I don't think you mean what you ask. Gillinan is... You do not want to be the subject of her wrath.
Then
Possibly.
why let her be in charge?
I'm not letting her do anything.
All I know is you're saying she's the one making the plans. And supposedly we're the ones supposed to help carry out the plans. We've got other people telling us to follow their plans instead. It would be great if we could have a clear, concise discussion about what the plans are, how the plans are to be achieved, so that we can make an informed decision.
A checklist. Perchance. A
A
love
written
checklist.
checklist.
The steps needed to be completed.
Objects.
Make me checklists all the time.
All I'm saying is that I would like to speak to the manager.
That's my line.
Get it, Karen, get it.
Lila's rubbing off on her Shara.
What I can do, but again, if she catches wind that you are
I've been
wishes,
I've been without my Valisline for months at
and
this.
that's fine. I have no judgment.
If she is
Andrew wasn't
all
saying-
powerful, if she is as all powerful as everyone seems to imply, she knows what I know. And she's the one who started this bullshit. It would be nice for her to check in.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I will see what I can do, but again, I do not hold as much power as I once did. I will try.
Back and forth between claiming to be like all powerful and then also claiming to be limited is driving me nuts. Sorry, that's Katie. That's not Lila. I mean, Lila's thinking that, but she's not saying that out loud.
I will do what I can. Just know that if you die, it's not my fault.
Has Fen'Harel contacted you in any way?
He's attempted to contact all of us.
Have you listened to him at all?
I was just about to say how you considered listening.
Oh. Usually it's more him just yelling at us and not actually giving us anything useful.
Shocking. Fen'Harel yelling. What is he yelling at you for?
Not really sure. I tend to zone him out.
I'm confused about.
As am I.
I feel as if. Sorry, don't. I know we have. I'm gonna ask one more question. You can all be mad at me, but it's fine. I would like to circle back to the Mathal thing because it feels important. Because it does feel like a bit of an instigator of everything that happened. There were kind of dominoes there, and that feels like a large domino. And I am confused. This is a Katie question. The murals that showed the Evanurus coming after Fen'Harel and he was holding Mathal's body. Are those in here?
That was here. You saw that.
Yeah. So, okay. So good. I can reference them and it's not
It was
weird.
also in Mathal's temple, which is why everyone else has seen it before.
Also, I'm sure that Lila has talked enough with like Ashara and Diani and probably Ashan while he was with them to know that as far as our mythos is concerned, the Evanurus murdered Saul, and that's why he created the Fade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Like we've talked, I feel like our characters have talked about that at some point earlier in the session about why this whole thing started was because they murdered Mythal, and it was supposedly all of them murdered Mythal, so Solas locked them all away. That's the myth we have.
At the very least, that was a conversation that I know that Diani had with Solas and would have shared.
yeah,
Once everything came out, and I'm assuming Ashara also had a similar conversation with them.
Yeah, I mean, and even just the general Elven history. But yeah, it would have been discussed.
I need to leave.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you to tell me your question, and that's where we'll pick it up next time.
I guess who do you think killed Mythal? Essentially is what she was going to ask.
Okay.
And get into a conversation about that.
I am writing it down so we don't forget.
Yay!
Okay, that's where we'll leave it tonight.